In today's video, I'm going to discuss 7 meme coins with a ton of upside, okay? One of them even has 2000x upside. So pay close attention right until the end, because in today's video, I'm going to unfold as much alpha as one can humanly possibly unfold. So without further ado, 1, 2, 3, let's get onto it. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with the 2000x, which is Momo. So Momo did a 500x from our entry, which was 100k, even below 100k. It's actually below 100k. So let's just say on average, it went to 50 mil. So 500x, that's what Momo did. So in order for us to get a 1000x, we have to go to 100 million. Momo just started its second run. Usually the second run goes and does 2 times as much as the previous all-time high. Something similar happened with Mini. Mini went to 20 mil, then it retraced to 2 to 1 million. It did the standard 95-80% dip, then it went to 40 mil market cap. I think we could see something similar here with Momo, and that would mean a 1000x. But the question is, what's the upside for something like Momo? Because once it reaches 9 figures, I saw Frank 𝗣𝗥𝗧𝗡𝗘𝗥 say yesterday that there's not going to be ever another 9-figure runner on chain. Maybe Momo is the one that proves all these people that don't believe in 9-figure runners wrong. Maybe it could be the one. I don't know. What I know right now is it's on track to print new all-time highs. That's what I know. Still, no one is believing. Everyone is sidelined. It's now about to cross 10 million market cap. Once it goes to 8 figures, then everyone starts FOMOing it. Once it crosses 10 million market cap, that's when the FOMO starts, because then everyone's like, oh no, I want a 3x, I want a 5x. They just start piling money. I think it's going to be fast, to be honest. I think we're going to rocket ship very close to all-time highs soon. But I'm very bullish Momo. Currently, this is the only coin, I think, on the Bong launchpad with a ton of potential. Then there's also 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗏. 𝗘𝗫𝗏 actually looks pretty good. It's also one of these Bong coins. I would love to grab it at 8 mil, 0.7 mil market cap. It's still looking good on the 24-hour, but it just doesn't have that upwards trajectory and momentum that Momo is now beginning to put. And I think Momo is about to flip 𝗘𝗫𝗏 any day. But I would say 𝗘𝗫𝗏 is probably a good buy once it retouches the bottom, or once it's at 8.7 mil market cap. That's where I would be interested in grabbing some 𝗘𝗫𝗏. Then we have Bagwork. I grabbed some Bagwork here because, you know, I was kind of predicting it was right here, like 40, almost at all-time highs yesterday. I was saying, to me, this is where you start accumulating between 13 and 7.4. I grabbed some at 10 mil market cap. I think it's bottomed. Wow, it's down 70% in 24 hours. For the attention this thing got, I think it can bounce back quite aggressively and at least come back to something like 30 mil market cap just from the attention it got. And that's all I want, a solid 3x. So I entered the position here. I'm probably going to sell at 30 mil or close to 30 mil. That's what I'm looking at. But yeah, Bagwork, this is one of those streamer coins, and it's very normal that a brand new meta always gets these 80-70% corrections. In this case, on Bagwork, we're talking about a 80% correction. Yeah, it happened very, very fast. Yeah, in a single day, single candle. This is why the entire timeline was promoting it, because, you know, now you don't understand why. But it's still a solid meta, okay? It's still a solid meta. I don't think it goes away to 0 now. I think it bounces and then dies out. That's what I'm thinking. So I grabbed some Bagwork. Then we have Pump. I still think Pump goes to 2.43. It's so strong. Even on a day like yesterday, it was just Pump and Momo pumping. There was nothing else pumping, but it's just so strong because, again, fundamentals, as I explained on my previous video about Pump, which not many people watched, but it was one of my best videos. It was very technical. And if you want to buy Pump, watch a video so you can understand the whole thesis behind Pump.fun. I still think it retouches previous all-time highs. I would very likely be entering with a position there or close to there, but let's see what happens in the next 2 days. Then we have Toshi currently at support. Seeing this support break, I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be very bullish. If it breaks support, we're talking about Toshi coming to something like 177. Not bullish. If it breaks support, guys, I'm probably gonna take the L at like 200 mil market cap. Okay, I'm not gonna hold this thing. But currently at support, so I have to say it's still at the place to buy. Still is. I find it interesting that the base team don't support their first meme coin, and instead they're trying to push stuff that no one cares about, trying to compete with Pump.fun, which they will never be able to do. But this is the main meme coin on base. As I've said 1,000 times, it's the base mascot. It's the first one. There's literally only Toshi and Brett on base with actual retail and some community. There's nothing else. So I still think it's a good buy here, okay? But if it breaks the trend line, we can probably grab it a little bit lower. Then we have the coin that just doesn't die, which is AWR. Now, AWR is very close to support right here at 2.7 mil, 2.8 mil. This is where I would say is the perfect entry for something like AWR. It just never dies. This coin never dies. It has a very, very strong community, and I'm looking to grab some more. I think right now it's a good place to buy. I grabbed just a little bit, okay? I have a very small position in it. If it goes a little bit deeper, I'm probably going to increase my AWR position now. And then finally, we have Useless. Very interesting. This keeps acting as support. It broke the resistance, and now the resistance hopefully turns into support. I think it's a good buy here. I think worst case scenario, it comes all the way down to this bullish fair value gap. So maybe there's still like another 17-20% to go. So I wouldn't just full stack buy here. I would just DCA okay? Just in case it comes here and then continues. But I do think useless. If Bitcoin keeps moving up, we'll have another run, and I would say you can probably double your money to all-time highs here. I wouldn't be holding this for much longer than that, but at least a double. And you can do it with size as well. But yeah, I would slowly DCA over the next 3 to 4 days, because Bitcoin could actually retrace a little bit here. It's not looking too good. It could have a little bit of a retrace down to something like 112, even 111. And you know what that would do to something like useless? It would bring it here, maybe even further, maybe even to like 128 or 140. And you could definitely grab it a little bit cheaper, and it would give better entries on a lot of those coins. Except for Momo. I think Momo is the only one that can actually keep its run, because it's just low liquidity, small market cap. It can actually keep its momentum, while as we've seen in the past 3 days, Bitcoin just kind of goes downwards and sideways. Momo has just been outperforming the rest of the market, so I'm expecting Momo to keep this pace going. Then we have Solana, not doing much, very close to all-time highs. And then of course ETH just looks kind of horrible, just doesn't look too good. Look at this, but it's very close to all-time high. So at any moment, if we see a move on Bitcoin, everyone knows what's going to happen. If we see like a proper move, if we see Bitcoin actually go to 119, for example, because there's a ton of liquidity at 109, as I explained in one of my previous videos, okay? There's a ton of liquidity here, okay? This is where you destroy all the longs, at 109. So I'm not going to be surprised if it goes there or close to there. There's also some liquidity at 118, okay? If you're going to destroy all the shorts. But I'm pretty sure 109 is where there's more. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a pullback. But if Bitcoin surprises us with like a giant green candle and upwards momentum, this is the reason why I think you should have at least a small position with your portfolio. You shouldn't be all in right now. It's just kind of dangerous. I'm not all in, but I do have at least close to 10% of my portfolio. It's not actually 10%, but it's close, invested in some of these coins, just in case we see this move. But I am still of the opinion we will correct further, okay? That's still my opinion, hasn't changed. Anyways, guys, this is today's show. Useless, AWR, Toshi, Pump, I think better entries, Bagwork. Oh, look, the pump has, I think, started. Corey, which I think can go a little bit further, and Momo, which is about to cross 10 mil market cap. I think it's gonna 2-3x in the next day or two. I would be surprised if Momo by the end of the week isn't at 25-30 mil market cap or higher. I would be surprised. Those are my expectations this week at least. Anyways, thank you very much. See you guys tomorrow with more alpha and with more news about everything happening on these exchanges. Bye bye.